Former casino hosts, surveillance operators, analytics managers, and player tracking technicians are finally admitting something casinos never want players to understand. Your casino player's card isn't just tracking comps. It's tracking you. These aren't loyalty programs designed to reward you. They're behavioral profiling systems built to predict, manipulate, and control how much time and money you spend. Systems insiders say are secretly capable of reading your emotional state, predicting your next move, and knowing when you're about to quit before you do. According to one retired casino analytics director, if people ever figured out how deeply we profile them, they'd never insert their card again. Today, we expose exactly what casinos collect about you, how player tracking systems really work, why some players mysteriously get comped while others get ignored, and what former employees say separates profitable players from unprofitable ones. By the end of this video, you'll know precisely which data points casinos use against you and how a simple player's card can reveal more about you than you know about yourself. Let's begin with the moment you insert your card, when the real tracking starts. Tracking point 1, the second your card goes in, over 300 data points start recording. Widely discussed by former casino systems engineers as one of the most comprehensive behavioral surveillance operations in any industry, player tracking doesn't just log your bets. It maps your psychology. Insiders refer to it as the invisible profile because even before you place your first bet, the system has already started building a predictive model of who you are. Meet Robert, 58, a construction supervisor who thought his player's card just earned him free drinks and the occasional buffet comp. He played blackjack twice a month at his local casino, always inserting his card because, why not get the points? One day, a host approached him during his session with a personal offer, a free hotel room, dinner for two, and $50 in free play. Robert was confused. "I don't even play that much," he told the host. The host smiled. "You're more valuable than you think." What Robert didn't know was that the casino system had been tracking him for 8 months, logging over 300 data points per visit, including bet size and variance, speed of play, average loss per hour, volatility tolerance, reaction time during wins and losses, frequency of switching tables or machines, how long he took between bets, whether he chased losses, whether he stopped when ahead, time of day he gambled, drink consumption patterns, how he behaved when tilting, facial expressions during key moments, walking patterns across the casino floor, how often he checked his phone. A former analytics manager who worked on these systems whispered, "Players think they're tracking comps. We're tracking emotional patterns." Robert's story spread among the regulars. The myth became truth. Casinos know you better than you know yourself. Player tracking systems like Konami SA Encaros, IGT Advantage, Scientific Games CMP, and Aristocrat Oasis work through real-time behavioral logging, predictive emotional modeling, and cross-referenced surveillance integration. Technical details: data capture rate, continuous while card is inserted. Metrics tracked, 300 plus individual data points. Analysis frequency, real-time with hourly batch updates. System integration, slots, tables, surveillance, POS, and hotel systems. What makes it dangerous for players and exciting for casinos is the combination of emotional pattern recognition, predictive loss modeling, and psychological vulnerability scoring. Insiders admit these systems were initially intended just for comp calculations, but field data showed they could predict player behavior with shocking accuracy. Former casino data scientists admit player tracking surprised even them. The systems arguably went beyond simple logging, created behavioral vulnerability maps, and produced predictive models that bordered on manipulation. An ex-casino analytics technician shared, "Within 3 visits, we can predict how much you'll lose within 5% accuracy, and no one talks about it because the legal department says it sounds too predatory." Casino marketing loved it because it created perfect targeting. It identified high-value emotional players. It filled machines and tables with profitable customers non-stop. Player tracking became known internally as the silent advantage. Does inserting your player's card guarantee casinos will manipulate you? Not directly. But compared with playing without a card, it allows the casino to build a psychological profile that guides how they treat you, what offers they send, and when they contact you, a level of personalization that benefits the house far more than the player. That's why insiders warn, don't underestimate what your card reveals. Every swipe is intelligence gathering. Tracking point 2, the hidden metrics casinos calculate that you never see. Often misunderstood as simple win-loss tracking, But former casino employees say player tracking systems calculate secret metrics that determine your entire value to the casino, metrics you'll never see on your account statement but that control everything from comp eligibility to host attention. A weekend player, a nurse in her mid-40s, regularly played slots at her local casino. She inserted her card every time and often won, sometimes walking away up $500 or $800. Yet she never received comps beyond basic tier credits. Meanwhile, her friend who played the same machines, always lost, and spent similar amounts received constant offers, free play, room upgrades, concert tickets, and personal calls from a host. One day she asked a slot attendant why this happened. The attendant glanced around and whispered, "You're a winner. She's a loser. The system knows the difference." The nurse was stunned. "But I put in just as much money." The attendant just shrugged. The computer doesn't care about money in. It cares about theoretical loss. Her confusion circulated among the players as proof that casinos don't reward play, they reward predictable losses. Casino player tracking systems calculate invisible metrics including ADT, average daily theoretical loss, what the casino expects you to lose per day based on your play patterns. T-win, theoretical win, not whether you win or lose today, but what you're supposed to lose long-term based on game mathematics. Trips value, are you a high-value visitor worth investing in, or just a low-level churner? Reactivity score, how emotionally reactive you are during volatile moments. Return frequency model, predicts when you will come back based on psychological patterns and historical behavior. Technical breakdown, calculation frequency, continuous with session updates. Weighting factors, bet size, game type, time played, volatility preferences. Predictive accuracy, 85 to 95% for return behavior. Profile persistence, permanent across all casino properties in network. What makes this system special is that it doesn't measure what you actually lose, it measures what you should lose according to mathematics, meaning a lucky winner can be worth less than an unlucky loser who plays optimal strategy. Insiders describe it as the metric inversion. Low ADT players get ignored even if they're big winners. High ADT players get comped even if they walk away even. Former casino host managers revealed these hidden metrics early in training. New hosts were told, forget about being fair. The numbers tell you who matters. Casino executives reportedly decided to base all comp decisions on theoretical loss because actual results are too random. Players who win consistently don't contribute to profit. The system prioritizes predictability over fairness. Casinos keep these metrics hidden because transparency would reveal the manipulation. Players would stop inserting cards. Low-value winners would feel cheated. Yes, these invisible metrics absolutely control how casinos treat you, but most players never realize they're being judged on statistics they can't see, only on outcomes that benefit the house. Insiders consider this one of the most unfair aspects of modern casino operations. Your actual experience matters less than your theoretical value. Tracking point 3, surveillance and player tracking work together to build psychological profiles. Widely known for catching cheaters, but insiders say modern surveillance systems primarily feed behavioral data to marketing departments, creating psychological profiles that guide everything from comp offers to machine placement. Its unique integration with player tracking is capable of delivering insights about emotional states, vulnerability windows, and manipulation opportunities, especially when combined with facial recognition technology. Insiders refer to it as the eye that sells because even low-stakes players have their behaviors monetized through predictive analytics. A regular casino visitor, a retired accountant in his late 60s, played video poker several times a week at 50-cent bets. He noticed the surveillance cameras but assumed they only watched for cheating. One afternoon, a host approached him with a targeted offer, free play specifically for video poker, delivered at the exact time he typically stopped playing. He asked how they knew his schedule so precisely. The host hesitated, then admitted, "We track more than just your card. The cameras help us understand patterns." The accountant was disturbed. "You mean you watch me personally?" The host reassured him, "It's all automated, just helping us serve you better." His realization spread among friends, surveillance isn't just security, it's sales intelligence. Modern surveillance systems track behavioral indicators including How often you glance at your credit meter, whether you react emotionally to near misses, physical signs of frustration or excitement, whether you play faster when losing, if you look at other players' wins, whether you look around before increasing bet size, fidgeting or nervous behaviors during losses, how you interact with casino staff, walking patterns and dwell times, social interactions and group dynamics. A former surveillance operator said, "We're not watching the games. We're watching the people. The games take care of themselves." Technical profile, camera coverage, 90 to 100% of gaming floor. Facial recognition, active in major properties. Behavioral flagging, automatic alerts for emotional distress, tilt behavior, and high-value plays. Integration, feeds directly into player tracking and CRM systems. Its surveillance architecture allows minimum oversight of security threats while maximizing collection of marketing intelligence, meaning a player exhibiting emotional vulnerability triggers alerts for hosts to intervene with targeted offers. Insiders confirm surveillance has evolved beyond security. Marketing departments now use video analytics. Emotional state detection guides comp timing. Facial recognition identifies VIPs instantly. Former casino surveillance directors admit the shift happened gradually. Security systems got smarter. Marketing realized the data's value. Technology allowed integration nobody had previously imagined. A former tech said, "When we started feeding surveillance data to marketing, comp response rates tripled. Players were getting offers at their exact moment of vulnerability." Casino executives knew behavioral surveillance extras revenue. Hosts could target emotionally reactive players. System could predict when players needed nudging. Many operators quietly call this integration the persuasion engine. Surveillance absolutely enhances player profiling beyond card data, but because it operates invisibly, players forget they're being analyzed by humans and AI simultaneously. The truth, it monetizes your emotional state, not just your betting patterns. Tracking point 4, player cards track your decisions, not just your play. A legacy system with massive insider respect, player tracking evolved from simple comp calculators into decision mapping engines that reveal psychological patterns casinos use to predict your future behavior. Insiders say modern tracking systems don't just know what you played, they know why you played it, when you became vulnerable, and what triggers bring you back. Meet Jennifer, 47, a paralegal who played slots occasionally. She always used her card and thought the casino only knew her total coin-in and points earned. During a losing session, she received a text from her casino host within minutes of cashing out, "Sorry about today's session. Check your account for a surprise." She found $25 in free play waiting. She texted back, "How did you know I lost?" The host replied with a winking emoji. "We pay attention to our valued players." Jennifer realized the system tracked her emotional cycle, when she lost, how much, and precisely when she needed encouragement to return. Her experience became common knowledge. Player tracking maps your emotional journey, not just your bets. Modern tracking systems record decision-level data. Your location anywhere on the casino floor, what game types you prefer and when, which volatility levels you can handle, the exact minute you become bored or frustrated, when you shift from cautious to aggressive, when you become risk-averse after losses, your loss limit, the threshold that makes you quit, your rebuy threshold, the amount that brings you back, how long you pause before betting again, whether you change games after big wins or losses. Technical notes, tracking resolution, second by second while card inserted. Decision points logged, every bet, cash in, cash out, game change, and break. Predictive modeling, updated after each session. Behavioral accuracy, 90% plus 4 repeat visitors. The unfair advantage comes from decision pattern recognition, emotional cycle mapping, and vulnerability window identification. Insiders nicknamed it the psychology printer because it doesn't track gambling, it tracks you. Former casino systems architects admitted card tracking became more sophisticated than anyone planned. Pattern recognition improved. Machine learning identified correlations. Marketing departments demanded more granular insights. A former casino analyst said, "The card doesn't just track your play. It tracks your mind." Casinos didn't advertise this capability because transparency would alarm players. Knowledge of psychological profiling might reduce card usage. The competitive advantage would disappear. Player cards genuinely reveal your decision-making psychology, but most users believe they're just earning comps while actually feeding predictive models designed to maximize their losses. Tracking point 5: How casinos use your data to control your experience. Scientific Gaming's most successful manipulation system, player tracking integration with floor systems, allows casinos to customize your experience in real time based on your behavioral profile and current emotional state. Insiders refer to it as the invisible hand because adjustments happen so smoothly players never notice the manipulation. A casino frequent, a salesman in his 50s, played blackjack regularly using his card. He noticed something odd. Whenever he started losing heavily, within minutes a cocktail server would appear with his favorite drink, or a host would stop by to chat, or he'd receive a notification about a dinner comp. One night he asked his dealer, "Do they watch when I'm losing?" The dealer smiled knowingly. The system knows everything. When you're down, they keep you comfortable. The salesman realized his entire experience was being orchestrated. Every touchpoint, timed. Every comfort, calculated. Every comp, strategic. His revelation became insider confirmation. Casinos don't react to your play, they engineer your environment. Casinos customize experiences through slot machine feature triggers. When systems detect frustration patterns, games may deliver small wins or bonus rounds to maintain engagement. Host contact timing. Hosts receive alerts to contact players at precise emotional windows after losses, before departure, during winning streaks. Service prioritization. High theoretical value players receive faster drink service, better table positions, and proactive assistance. Machine suggestions. Floor systems route players to areas or specific machines matching their psychological and preference profiles. Offer timing. Free play, room upgrades, and event invitations arrive at calculated moments of maximum influence. Floor layout navigation. Digital signage and ambassador suggestions guide high-value players toward profitable game types. Technical breakdown. System integration, 100% across all player touchpoints. Response time, real-time to 5-minute delay. Personalization depth, individual player level. Manipulation detection, invisible to 95% plus of players. What makes this control system effective is its seamless integration, psychological timing precision, and the player's complete unawareness of orchestration. Former casino operations managers say the integration was always planned. Create frictionless tracking. Build predictive models. Automate personalized intervention. Maximize time on device. Casino executives' new environmental control increases revenue. Comfortable losing players stay longer. Timely comps soften departure decisions. Personal attention creates emotional loyalty. Insiders call this automated hospitality, but it's really systematic manipulation. Yes, casinos absolutely engineer your environment based on tracking data, but the system operates so subtly that players experience it as good service rather than behavioral control. The truth: every random interaction is data-driven, every generous comp is calculated, and your entire visit is choreographed around maximizing your losses while maintaining satisfaction. Tracking point 6: The psychology profiles casinos create about you. A visually simple categorization system with massive behavioral implications, player profiling divides customers into psychological archetypes that determine how casinos market to them, what games they're encouraged toward, and how much investment the property makes in retention. Insiders claim these profiles guide everything from host assignment to machine recommendations, and they call it the player taxonomy. A first-time visitor from Seattle played slots conservatively, betting small amounts and quitting after modest wins. Within 3 visits, she received offers exclusively for low volatility games and small free play amounts. Her friend, who played aggressively and chased losses, received high roller event invitations, suite upgrades, and large free play offers after just 2 visits. The first player asked a host why the treatment differed so drastically. The host explained, "Our system recognizes play styles. We personalize based on what kind of player you are." She realized she'd been categorized, profiled, and sorted into a value tier within hours of her first visit. Casino player profiling systems categorize customers into behavioral types. The grinder plays slowly, small bet sizes, low volatility preference, stays long hours. Casinos consider them low lifetime value despite high playtime. The dreamer chases jackpots, loves volatile games, bets erratically, responds to near misses. Casinos rate them high value due to emotional engagement. The chaser loses small amounts then rapidly increases bet size to recover, shows tilt behavior. Extremely high value due to predictable loss acceleration. The optimizer studies games, plays optimal strategy, leaves after achieving win goals. Casinos try to retain them with comps and host relationships but consider them break-even players. The emotional responds dramatically to wins and losses, plays faster when stressed, makes impulsive decisions. Highest value target due to lack of self-control. The social plays for entertainment and atmosphere, values experience over winning, responds to personalized attention. Moderate value but high retention potential. Technical facts, profile assignment, algorithmic after 2 to 3 visits. Accuracy rate, 80 to 90% for behavioral prediction. Profile persistence, tracked across entire company portfolio. Marketing segmentation, complete personalization based on archetype. What makes profiling dangerous is its permanence. Once categorized, your entire relationship with the casino is filtered through that lens, determining offers, host attention, and even which games appear in your app recommendations. Former casino marketing directors revealed profiling became standard practice. Player databases got sophisticated. Marketing automation required segmentation. ROI demanded targeting efficiency. A former strategy consultant admitted, "We don't need your name to understand you. Your play tells us everything about your psychology, your impulse control, your vulnerability." Casinos embraced profiling because targeted marketing converts better, personalized offers optimize spending, and psychological segmentation maximizes lifetime value. The system became self-reinforcing. Accurate profiles led to better manipulation, which generated more data, which improved profiles. Yes, player profiling absolutely determines how casinos treat you, but the categorization happens invisibly, and most players never realize they're being sorted into profitable versus unprofitable buckets based on psychological vulnerability rather than actual play volume. Tracking point 7, comps are investments, not rewards. One of casino marketing's most successful psychological tools, complimentary offers appear as generous rewards but function as calculated investments designed to manipulate behavior, extend playtime, and reactivate dormant accounts. Insiders refer to this strategy as the reciprocity trap because free offerings create perceived debt that drives additional gambling. A regular player, a teacher in her 60s, received a free hotel room offer for her birthday month. She was thrilled until she realized the dates were midweek, when she wouldn't normally visit, and the offer required same-day table or machine play. She used the room, played more than intended to get her money's worth, and left down $400 despite the free room valued at $89. A slot attendant told her, "Free rooms aren't free. They're bait. The math always works in our favor." Her experience became common. Comps cost more than their face value. Casinos deploy comps strategically. Free rooms keep you on property longer, eliminate travel time, encourage extended sessions, create morning and late night play opportunities. Free play reactivates dormant players, establishes loss anchoring, players bet beyond free play amount, creates foot traffic during slow periods, captures players who wouldn't otherwise visit. Food and beverage credits anchors you on property, eliminates reasons to leave, creates obligation to play more, strategically timed to extend sessions. Event tickets rewards high-value players with experiences that create emotional bonds, encourages reciprocal play, differentiates VIP treatment, generates social proof. Host relationships personalizes the experience, creates emotional attachment beyond gambling, leverages social influence, identifies and solves friction points that might cause departure. Technical notes, comp ROI calculations, every offer modeled for expected return. Trigger points, automated based on play decline, competitive threats, lifecycle stage. Redemption tracking, measures incremental play generated. Profitability threshold, comps typically generate 3-8x value in additional play. The strategic advantage comes from psychological reciprocity. People feel obligated to reciprocate generosity, sunk cost fallacy, having received value, players feel they should maximize it, and perceived value disparity. A $100 comp costs casino $30 but feels worth full retail to player. Former casino marketing executives admit comp strategy is purely economic. Calculate lifetime value. Invest percentage in retention. Model expected return. Optimize offer timing for maximum impact. Casino finance departments' new comps drive revenue despite appearing as expenses. Emotional bonds increase lifetime value, and personalized offers outperform generic promotions 5:1. A former VP of player development said, "Comps aren't rewards. They're investments. We're not being generous, we're being strategic. Every dollar in comps is expected to return $5 in play." This approach became industry standard. All major casinos now use predictive comp modeling. Players receive exactly enough to keep them coming back, but never so much that profitability suffers. Yes, comps absolutely function as manipulation tools disguised as generosity, but players interpret them as rewards for loyalty rather than calculated investments in their continued losses. The reality: nothing in a casino is free, and every comp is designed to extract more than it gives. Tracking point 8: What casinos know that you don't. A legacy vulnerability in human psychology. Casinos accumulate information asymmetry that creates massive strategic advantages. They understand your patterns better than you understand them yourself. Insiders say the most profitable insight isn't what players do, but what they don't realize they're revealing about themselves. Meet David, a retired engineer who considered himself a disciplined gambler. He set loss limits, avoided emotional play, and tracked his results in a spreadsheet. After a year of regular play, a host approached him with a startlingly specific offer: free play for Thursday evenings between 6 to 9 p.m. at video poker machines, his exact preferred time and game. David was unnerved. "How did you know my schedule so precisely?" The host smiled. "We pay attention to patterns. You're remarkably consistent." David realized the casino knew his vulnerability windows better than he monitored them himself. Casinos track invisible patterns. Your average loss per hour, calculated to within 5% accuracy, the specific hour when you're most vulnerable to increased spending, the bet size most likely to keep you engaged without triggering departure precisely when you're closest to quitting, and what intervention retains you, when to push an offer to reactivate you after absence, when to ignore you because you're currently unprofitable, when you switch from logical to emotional decision-making, the specific triggers that cause tilt behavior. How different outcomes affect your subsequent bet sizing, your response patterns to various comp types, which psychological tactics work best on your profile. Technical breakdown: pattern recognition accuracy, 85 to 95% for regular players. Predictive modeling, updated continuously. Vulnerability scoring, ranked from 1 to 10 for manipulation susceptibility. Information advantage, complete asymmetry: they know everything, you know nothing about their systems. Former casino data scientists say the competitive moat isn't technology, it's information inequality. Players operate blind while casinos have complete visibility, perfect memory, and predictive models. An analytics director admitted, "We know players better than they know themselves because we have all their decisions mapped over years, while they only remember highlights and try to rationalize their behavior." Casinos leverage this advantage by timing interventions perfectly, personalizing offers with surgical precision, predicting and preventing profitable behavior, and encouraging unprofitable patterns. The system creates learned helplessness. Players who try to outsmart it realize the house already anticipated their strategy. Yes, information asymmetry absolutely determines outcomes, but players enter the casino believing it's a fair contest when they're actually playing against an opponent who has studied them for months or years. Tracking point 9: How to reduce tracking effectiveness without breaking rules. The quietest but most important defensive strategy regular players never consider: reducing predictability undermines the behavioral models casinos rely on to manipulate play patterns. Insiders claim casinos profit most from consistency. Once they understand your patterns, they control outcomes. Disrupting those patterns reduces their edge. A software engineer who frequented casinos realized his play was being profiled after reading his player statement closely. He noticed the casino calculated his theoretical loss and expected return frequency with suspicious accuracy. He decided to experiment, varying bet sizes randomly, playing different game types each visit, taking frequent unpredictable breaks, and occasionally playing without his card. Within 2 months, his comp offers became generic rather than personalized, and host contact declined. He asked his regular host why. She admitted, "Your account became hard to model. The system doesn't know how to value you anymore." He had successfully become unpredictable, reducing the casino's informational advantage. Strategies to reduce tracking effectiveness. Never play with pure emotion. Tracking systems thrive on emotional players whose behaviors become predictable during stress. Avoid long uninterrupted sessions. Extended play provides massive data sets that improve predictive accuracy. Don't chase losses visibly. Loss chasing flags you as high value and triggers increased attention. Take frequent irregular breaks, disrupts pattern recognition and resets predictive models. Vary bet sizing unpredictably. Consistent betting makes you easy to model. Randomness creates uncertainty. Don't fall for reactive free play offers. These are triggered by your departure patterns and designed to reactivate learned behaviors. Change game types frequently. Specialization makes you predictable. Variety reduces profiling accuracy. Occasionally play without your card, breaks the data stream and creates gaps in your behavioral record. Never establish fixed schedules. Casinos profit from habitual play patterns. Cash out at unexpected times. Don't always quit after losses or wins. Be inconsistent. Technical approach. Goal: reduce predictive model accuracy below 70%. Method: introduce randomness without appearing like system gaming. Benefit: generic offers rather than psychologically targeted manipulation. Trade-off: slightly reduced comp optimization. Former casino analysts admit unpredictable players are unprofitable to target. Marketing ROI declines. Host time isn't justified. Automated systems can't personalize effectively. A data scientist explained, our models need consistency to work. Players who introduce enough randomness become invisible to algorithmic targeting. We still know they play, but we can't manipulate them efficiently. Casinos prefer not to discuss defensive strategies because awareness reduces their effectiveness. Players might optimize comp earning while minimizing manipulation vulnerability, and the industry's informational advantage depends on player ignorance. Yes, reducing predictability absolutely undermines casino profiling systems, but it requires conscious effort to behave counter to your natural patterns and willingness to sacrifice some comp optimization for reduced manipulation exposure. The truth: casinos win because players are readable, consistent, and emotional. Becoming irregular, random, and disciplined removes their greatest advantages. Now you know the truth about what former casino employees whisper about player tracking systems. Your card doesn't just track play, it tracks psychology. Over 300 data points logged continuously. Hidden metrics you never see determining your value. Surveillance systems feeding behavioral data to marketing. Decision-level tracking mapping your vulnerability windows. Psychological profiles categorizing you by manipulation susceptibility. Comps functioning as calculated investments rather than rewards. Information asymmetry giving casinos complete strategic advantage. Casinos allow these systems because knowledge creates control, predictability generates profit, and invisible manipulation works better than overt pressure. But insiders warn, these systems only work on predictable players, awareness reduces effectiveness, and randomness undermines behavioral models. So armed with insider knowledge, understand you're being profiled from the moment you insert your card. Recognize that comps are investments designed to extract more than they give. Break patterns deliberately to reduce predictive accuracy. Never assume the casino doesn't understand your psychology. Remember that every personalized touch is algorithmic manipulation. Consider whether the comps are worth the informational transparency. Stay unpredictable if you want to reduce their edge. Casinos don't win because games are rigged. They win because players are readable. Your habits are more valuable than your money. Your emotions are their real currency. Your predictability is their business model. Stay unpredictable. Stay aware. And most importantly, don't let them know you better than you know yourself.